What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome back to Inside the Lines. It has been a minute, but we have plenty to go over today. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Very exciting stuff here. We have a lot of model plays for this, actually. So bear with me as I do my best to explain those. We have the College World Series as well. A few plays for that. No WNBA today, but we certainly will be back on Tuesday. But first, me and Jake got to take a look back, and we kicked Steven out again because we're kind of on a heater without him. So we told him he doesn't have to show up today because the kids are cooking over here without Steven. So we're going to keep the ball rolling, stay on the heater, although he did help us with these hockey picks. But nonetheless, we're going to keep running the show here.
I think we should get like 3 times the credit for Gunnar Henderson. He scored 3 times in the first 3 innings. Then he got thrown out at home in like the 5th inning. So it was almost 4 times in the first 5 innings that he scored a run. Exactly.
Yeah. We're winning, and we're winning by landslide. Same with the WNBA. I think we're on like a 7-0 heater right now, if I am correct, through this show and through HQ and all of those things. So let's get right into it. Before we do that, we love to talk about what's going on in the NBA world. As always, Josh Giddey, Alex Caruso trade. We want to talk about that impact a little bit because it seems like from the model perspective, really good news for OKC, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what OKC needed. A plus defender. He was second team All-NBA on defense. And OKC doesn't need a primary ball handler because they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and they have Jalen Williams. You don't need a third ball handler who needs to get shots up. So Presti talked about having a conversation with Giddey saying you're probably going to come off the bench, and Giddey's like, you know what, you might as well trade me. And I don't think you get a better fit for OKC than Caruso, who's doesn't need the ball in his hands. He's a plus defender. Like Steven tweeted out that yes, his defensive rating, Caruso's defensive rating, was a little worse than Giddey's defensive rating, but that's a little misleading because that's like an overall team stat. He's a second team All-NBA defender. Like he's a really good player, and a 1.1 win adjustment, 1.2 close to that. That's a heck of an adjustment just for one player and a role player in that as well. So
exactly, yeah,
really good move, really good move, and they don't have to pay Giddey anymore, and that's Chicago's problem. And Chicago now has to figure out what they want to do with DeRozan and Vucevic if they want to restart, like Zach LaVine. So I love the move for OKC.
So we're going to call this an official OKC win here. We had to pick a side.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. I'm sure through this week, there will be a lot more Woj tweets coming up on our phones and a lot of information coming out, and we will stay on top of it, see if anyone really moves the needle. This certainly was a trade that does. Let's talk about College World Series tonight. The end. Good run so far. We liked Tennessee originally, but let's talk about a few plays you got for the College World Series.
Yeah, so the model value is actually on Texas A&M, even though we have Tennessee winning this game 65% of the time. If you factor in the numbers and the juice and everything, the model value is on A&M. The model also likes the over at 9.5/10.5, depending on what book you have. But looking back at the history of the College World Series and game 3s and game 2s, the under is like a pretty serious trend there. So I don't really want to mess with that. So as much as I wanted it to go with the over, and the model loves the over, I think the play is probably a side. And Texas A&M at +1.5, it's moved from +100 to +114. And with that, if you expect a low-scoring game, there's some pretty good value there.
Okay. So the model does lean to the over. So we're not necessarily disagreeing with people who love the over.
Not disagreeing with the over, just scared of the over.
Right. Fair. Okay. But yeah, we have some plays we like ourselves, though. I know you just mentioned it. Texas A&M on the run line at plus money. Do you think they win, or do you just think this is a one-run game?
I just think it's probably a closer game than we expect. I know last year LSU kind of ran away with game 3. But then looking at all the other games, the deciding games have been really close. So, I mean, I still think Tennessee wins, but that the model thinks the value is on A&M. If you want to go with the side, I would choose the +114 on the run line.
Okay, so the model projects this to be within a one-run game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and we got plus money. Let's talk about two player props that we like here as well. This Tennessee prop kind of going with the A&M narrative here.
Yeah, so A&M is one of the most patient teams at the plate. They have been since Jim Schlossnagle took that job 3 years ago. In the last 3 years, that's why they've made it so far. Two of the last 3 years, so they're so patient. They take pitches, and Seacrest is a pitch to contact pitcher. He doesn't strike out a ton of players. I think he has one double-digit strikeout game all season, and that was against Western Carolina. And I wouldn't be surprised if they move around their pitchers a lot and try to go to the bullpen earlier than you would think. Seacrest is a baller, though. He's a gamer. He's a big game pitcher. He plays really well. That's another reason why this over scares me a bit, because he's been really good. And so his stats are a little misleading from earlier in the season. I mean, he's right around a 3.0 ERA, but he's been even better lately. So I but he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, and A&M doesn't strike out a ton. So I like the under. Even if he goes deep in the game, I think he finishes with 3-4 strikeouts. But I wouldn't be surprised if they pull him early. So
Okay.
that's I think he's pitched in 19 games, and he's only hit the over 5 times. But that's also a little misleading because he hasn't started all those games. But I'd say around 65% of games he has started, he's gone under this number.
Okay. All right. I see Japan talking about how this is going to be exciting. We got College World Series and Game 7 going on tonight. It's pretty hype slate for a Monday in the summer. Usually I'm not ready for some big sports nights, but two series clinching situations, so should be very exciting. We got one more College World Series prop before we head over to Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals. What do you got for us?
Yeah, we're actually fading one of the hottest hitters in college baseball right now, Caden Kent. He had been really hot. He's the son of Jeff Kent, longtime MLB player. He came in after into the lineup after Braden Montgomery broke his ankle, and he was just absolutely raking. And then yesterday he struggled a bit for the first time, and he was 1 for 4. And he came up with 2 on and no outs and popped up yesterday. And so I think that's a little in his head. Under 2.5 total bases. He has, I think, 2 extra base hits, but he hits a lot of singles. So even if he hits 2 singles, he could still hit the under at 2.5. He's also facing a lefty. He is a lefty. That's not an easy matchup. And Tennessee's just going to throw their best arms at all these players. So fading one of the hottest hitters here. I just think this number should be 1.5, not 2.5.
And this maybe goes with our not loving the overplay as well.
Exactly. It kind of goes into that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we like a close game here. That's all we can ask for here on a Monday night. Let's head over to another Game 7, essentially game series clinching play here. We got a play for we got a money line play. We got a shots on goal prop for each team, and we got a just goal prop for each team. So we're going to start with the Panthers money line here. Now it's minus 110. Obviously been a lot of steam since the beginning of the series. At the beginning of the series, our highest percent chance of a series outcome was Edmonton in 6, around 22% chance, I believe. But the second best was the Panthers in 7 at 19%. So now we're in that spot here. Before this series, again, that's what we had for all of the Panthers home games. We've basically given them a 56 to 58% chance to win. And we're basically in line with that again here. They're +8 in shots on goal at home, and they had averaging 33 shots on goal before this series. So I feel like the regression to the mean would have to benefit them and not, for lack of a better word, pooping the bed on power plays and allowing Edmonton shorthanded goals. I think that is almost impossible to continue to happen. The model has the Panthers projected for 33 shots on goal, and Edmonton just 28. So that's why we lean towards the Panthers in the spot. And they've played strong at home, obviously, in the series, as we saw in games 1 and 2. I see Japan talking about Connor McDavid, anytime a goal scorer here. I do like that play. What we have more value on is McDavid over 3.5 shots on goal. And if we see where we have that exact value here. But in the playoffs, I mean, we only have him projected for 3.6, but it is a plus money play, which is kind of why we like it. You're basically just asking him to do what he's done in this series. He had 9 shots on goal in Florida in games 1 and 2 and 21 the last 6 road playoff games. So he's technically averaging 3.6. That's what we have him projected for in the model. So you can get plus money. I believe it's plus 115 over at Bet Rivers. You can get plus money. So I do like the goal, like the shots on goal play as well. As far as another Edmonton goal that we like here to have an actual goal is Draisaitl over to half a goal up plus 195. Model implies 40% chance. Odds makers imply 34% chance. So slight value on that. He is quote unquote due. He was red hot with 10 goals in the playoffs, but none in the series so far. So it feels like he is due to have a goal, and he has scored a goal in over 48% of road games this season. Shots on goal there with 16 in the 6 games and 3+ in 4 of the 6 games. So seems like he's someone that's due on the Edmonton side of the ball. But again, the puck. But again, we do like the Panthers in this spot. So what another play we like, Kachuk over 2.5 shots on goal here. It seems I forgot the word shots on goal. But that's what we like. A little pricier, but a lot of strong stats that are backing this up. You look at, we have him projected for 4.1 shots on goal. So minus 175, not ideal, maybe part of a parlay here. But even this 3-game, issue he has had 9 shots on goal. And for the season, he averages 3.8 at home and averaging 3.6 in the playoffs. So again, pretty high numbers for him. The over percent, basically, we're implying a 69% chance. The odds makers are applying 63% chance. So there is some value there. We do like that spot as well. Any other Stanley Cup questions? I know Jake has the model. If we can pull up, Jake, if you share your screen with me, certainly answer more questions. Let's see what else we got. Anyone in the chat? Barkov's plus 1,400 to win the Conn Smythe on MGM. I know producer Boney came out here and gave out Connor McDavid to win the Conn Smythe right before Game 6 at plus 700. And he got the best value you could there. So if he cashes that, he's had quite the run on the hockey segment of this show for sure. Let's pull up the model here. Yeah, we don't really have any value on the over, do we?
No, pretty much. I guess kind of in line with the Panthers play. What it's Vegas expected lines 2.64 goals, so probably team totals are 2.5. So maybe Panthers over 2.5 goals has some value, but not really a lot of total value, which we've had in the past couple games. We've had some pretty good overvalue.
Yeah, we have some really good value on Sam Reinhart over half a goal at plus 170. We project him. We give him almost a 50% chance to score a goal. Odds makers give him more of a 37% chance. That's because he's scored a goal in 50% of his games, despite going. I think he's had 1 in the last 7. You could argue that he's due as well. And you could also argue that Skinner, who's had 3 straight games of over 90% save percentage, that is really hard to do 4 times in a row. He hasn't done that since like the beginning of March. So you have to imagine that again, I hate to say the word regression to the mean again, but that's not a sustainable stat to have 3 straight games of over 90% for Skinner. So I think this is a good spot to get on some Panthers goal scorer props in general. Again, I saw Jeff asking about over under. Again, we have them projected for around 5.6. So really no value there for us in that spot. But I don't know. I think that's a lot of hockey given the 2 of us here. That's as much as we can give. That's as much as the data has for us to say. You have any lasting words on Stanley Cup, Jake?
If anything, I'd probably lean on the over, especially since at the way end you could get some empty netters if it's a 2-1 goal game with like a couple minutes left. Like I think like 5 of the 6 games so far have had empty netters, so I would lean over if anything.
Right. All right. Yeah, I like that play too. I see some MLB questions coming to surface in the chat as well. We can get to the MLB. We got a ton of props today, and we'll head over to the model for that as well. Any questions, feel free to put them in the chat as well.
If you want to screenshot, if you guys want to screenshot this real quick, you can do your own home run research. We don't have too much. Tomorrow is more of the home run, the Dinger Tuesdays. So, but if you want to look at real quick the left side of the screen, here is your home run props. So this is what we would set the line at. So Jose Ramirez is the best home run prop. We do have a Jose Ramirez prop today. Spoiler alert, but this is what we would set it at. So if you want to take a little screenshot And we also have a Bryce Harper prop. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say we don't have home run, but we do have a Bryce Harper play. Let's go to that first, going to total bases here instead.
yeah, Bryce Harper over 1.5 total bases, -111 on Caesars. Just riding the hot hand here. Harper's been a stud lately. It seems like he's crushing the ball every single time he's up to bat. I mean, we have him at 2.15 total bases. So even with the juice at 1.5, you're still getting really good model value. If you do a little prop analysis, he is just killing it. And we like the matchup. Was it against Detroit, Casey Mize? So it's a pretty good matchup for him as well.
Mhm. Okay, I think we got some other batter plays here. Let's go over to the Rangers. We got another
Yeah.
hits, runs, RBI play.
Yeah. Oh, so the screen's a little frozen while it runs, but yeah, here we go with the Harper total bases. Just you can see how hot he's been lately. It's hit in 5 of 6. Going with for the hits, runs, RBIs in the Rangers game, we're going with Wyatt Langford over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at plus money. The rookie's been hot. He's hit this over in 7 of the last 10 games. He does have a bit of a tougher matchup today against Peralta, but just going to keep riding Wyatt Langford while he's hot until the lines adjust to where it should be. And getting plus 125 here with something he's hit 70% in the last 10 games. And he's hit a lot in most games since he's been healthy. I'm just going to keep taking it plus money. Like if it doesn't hit today, it's at the same number tomorrow. It hits tomorrow, or you're still up a quarter of a unit. So we don't have a ton of model value on Langford. The model's still adjusting, but we have him at 1.8. So I'd say it's fair value at plus 125.
Okay.
And if you look at his game log, he had 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI, 2 hits, a grand slam, 2 hits, 1 hit with a home run. So he's been really good. He only has 2 bad games in the last 10 games where he hasn't hit, but besides that, he's been raking.
Okay, love to see it. And I know we had another prop that you liked here, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Oh wait, also I was gonna say we our stolen base prop from Thursday. He had a stolen base on Friday, the next day. That always is the way for us. Our home run props and our stolen base props always work that way.
Always happens in the next game.
Yeah.
So with Jose Ramirez, going with him to score a run, and if you look at the prop analysis, this really, really sticks out to me, is he's hit over half of a run in 18 of his last 23 games. 18-5 in this month of June. And he's going against a rookie pitcher in Kapovich. It's a rookie, and he's 18-5. Those two combined, I mean, I absolutely love this play at plus money at plus 117 on Bet Rivers. We have him, if you look at the line, we have him scoring a run in over 70% of simulations. So just absolutely great value here.
Absolutely great value. Love to see it. Love the confidence on this play. And I love a nice plus money play as well. Let's go to another plus money play here. Tanner Houck over 4.5. Oh, we're doing a little 2-leg parlay here?
Yeah, we're doing a little parlay here. So this was also one I took from the prop analysis. We're going right back to that same exact Houck prop we played last week. Over 4.5 strikeouts against Toronto. This time, instead of being in Toronto, it's in Boston, which actually kind of hurts Houck because, like we did in the prop analysis, that Toronto strikes out more at home than they do on the road. But if you look at the prop analysis, we have them at 5.46 strikeouts. I know a decent amount of people like Alex Caruso online are on the under 17.5 outs per quarter for Houck. That scares me because look at all these quality starts he has. So he's gone 6 innings in 5 of the last 6 games, but he didn't hit it last game, and he is facing the same team, which tends to hurt players. But then, so if we look at the player average, he averages 6.2. Prop analysis tool. Let's go. Okay, it's minus 4.5. And so he averages 6.2. So we're going to do 5.8 to let's do 6.5. So like right in the average in the middle. of where Hulk is. So he's 12-3 on the season, averaging, like I just said, 6.3 strikeouts. And he is 2-0 against Toronto this season. And then this is players who average 5.8 to 6.5 strikeouts against Toronto. They're 20-8 on the over this season. And Toronto at players. So Toronto on the road, 9-4. So still pretty good value either way you look at it.
Okay. Don't have to convince me twice.
Yeah.
Prop analysis tool never lies.
Prop analysis tool. And then, so we're going with that. And then we're parlaying that with a similar value at -165. Bailey Falter under 3.5 earned runs. And if you look at Bailey Falter's projections, we have him at 2.23 earned runs. It's very juicy, but both of these are right around -160. But if you parlay them, they get +160. And just using the prop analysis, I think there's some value in a parlay here.
We haven't hit a little too like money line, or not money line.
I know.
Parlay in a while.
We've been giving not too many parlays out, so I gotta give some parlays out for the people. So 2.36 earned runs. If we look at prop analysis for Bailey Falter, let's see, earned runs. This line's 3.5. It's juicy at 3.5, but still, that's high. So let's do 2 to 2.8. To do that range. So the under 3.5 earned runs is 11-3 this season. And against Cincinnati, it's 65-21 for players in his range. So even while it's juicy, both of those are right around 75%. So I like that. And last season was 36-8.
Damn.
So value either way.
Fresh off the plane, you're finding some pretty strong trends here today, if I do say so myself.
It's right off the plane, right off the red eye. Yeah.
Respect. Yeah, this is it's been a tough Monday for the team, but we are always here to give the lock. That I can promise. For some reason, I've been struggling this whole show to pull up our recap screen. It does not want to enter into the StreamYard, and I'm not understanding why. You know what, Jake? Let me send it to you really quick, and you can share your screen.
That works.
Let's see. Please hold, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties on this Monday.
Or you just like imagine it in your head with all green check marks tomorrow.
Yes.
So we could do that.
Yeah. There we go. I just sent it to you. Because we do have a ton of picks from today, which is, and there are they got a lot going on. A lot of player props. Got to give it to the people.
Yes. Okay, let me download it. So here we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Here we go. Loading. Here we go. Boom.
Boom. Not that pretty, but it'll do. You can take a screenshot and it'll do what it needs.
It'll be prettier with all the green check marks tomorrow.
Exactly. All right. Tons of Stanley Cup player props for you guys. Panthers money line. Go Florida. Go Cats. We got the MLB and we got some college baseball World Series. That is all we got time for today. Tomorrow we're back in WNBA. Okay, guys, lock in. MLB and WNBA for the rest of the summer, guys. It's going to be awesome. Lots of green check marks. Any other questions, as always, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter. And with that, we will see you guys tomorrow.